Hello again, and welcome back to Jonesin for Wins. My name is Craig Havens. I'll be your host, along with Jonathan Almanzar. We're here to discuss the Cowboys' loss at the Packers, 31 to 28 this past weekend. I wanted to discuss what's going on with this game. We're going to talk about where some of the players have gone, what's happening, and we're going to give out our Glory Hole Award, and we'll give some stuff for coming up next week too. Jonathan, what do you think of this game?
Not worried. I'm not worried at all. I'm
You
sure
still
there's
relax?
Yeah, you should relax.
All
It's
right.
just, I think, I've been saying they were going to lose this game for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks for a while.
You went back though to say that you're not worried about it.
Yeah, but I'm telling you right now, I've been saying that, yeah, I'm not worried about it. I knew they were going to lose this game. I'm probably going to give myself 2 points for calling that. Like the second episode of the game, the second episode of this show, I said that they would lose this game.
I do believe I could rewind and play last week when you said you used to think that, but you no longer think that.
That was for TV. That was just for TV. That was
TV
just
moments.
for the show.
Oh,
Yeah, it was just because that lady was on the show, so I had to say that
Gotcha.
for her.
oh,
But I'm not worried about it. Like I think that that's one of those games where they went into Lambeau and they lost. I think they did some stupid things. I felt like they had some players not perform well. They had some players disappear. Dak looked not great at the beginning, and but I'm not worried. Overall, I'm not worried. If it becomes a trend, I'm worried.
penalties are a trend.
Penalties are a trend, yes. But I'm not. As much as I hated the penalties, I don't think that's the reason we lost. I think and I never say that. I usually say penalties are the reason we lost. The penalties that made me the most mad weren't the ones that happened in overtime. They were how we kept getting personal fouls on kickoffs. We had three personal fouls on kickoffs, and I'm just like, how is this happening? Why is this happening? I'd be cutting players right there. Done. Hit the showers.
It's getting old, but honestly, to me, all the penalties are getting old. This game to me came down to 9 penalties. Dak Prescott was 27 of 46, 265 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. We can go on and say that was CD's fault, and I forgot who the other pass was to, but quite honestly, I'm putting this on Dak, and I get that Dak says that's on me, but I think it is on Dak at this point. We didn't have this, and I can't believe I'm saying it, but when Cooper Rush was there, maybe it was safer passes. I know it was, but if we're not having that communication, let's be careful when we put that ball in the air.
I think the second one was on Dak. That first one, 100% was on the tight end. He ran the wrong route. And when I was listening to Cowboy Talk or some show like that today, they said they've seen this. The Cowboys run this play every day in practice.
Yeah.
And he's got to get deeper. So that is 100% on that tight end. And you know who I think the tight ends played abominably in this game. They were awful. Our tight ends, awful.
So Schultz actually 6 receptions, 54 yards,
and
on 8 targets. Yes, I don't know. Was that on him? Was that one the one on him, or was it on? Okay, all right.
Schultz didn't go deep enough.
All right. So Tony Pollard, 22, 115 yards, 1 touchdown, 5.2 average.
Exactly Tony Pollard game right there. He played exactly like you expect him to.
And I honestly think so. I think if Zeke were in this game, I think we would have seen a different play on things. I do. I think, like I said before, I think they complement each other. I think that they're there and they do well together.
Do you think we would have seen 3 quarterback sneaks if Zeke was in the game?
No, I don't.
Yeah, me either.
So, but, and quite honestly, like there's so many things I look at. So like I said, Schultz, CeeDee Lamb had 11 receptions, 150 yards, 2 touchdowns, 15 targets. That's a good game. I can't complain about except this, but I can't complain about it. Tony Pollard, three receptions, whatever. Michael Gallup had 4. Noah Brown had 1 for 3 yards. Where'd he go? We had Noah Brown. He was playing well. You and I have been like, for one point, you were like calling him your other son. Then you denounced him, and then he's just gone. Was it you? Do you think Do you think you denounced him and they've given
Yeah,
up at that point?
I think that could have something to do with it. Or my denouncing came because of what I saw coming. And it was him disappearing, him totally, completely, utterly disappearing.
Yeah, but do you think he puts himself on the field, or do you think that?
I don't think any of the
Unless-
Cowboys put themselves on the field. I
Unless
feel like
say
the
you did
Cowboys.
this.
I think the Cowboys have more players asking off the field than any team I've ever seen in my life.
We do get
I'm
that
serious. On the offense, all of them are asking off the field. The running backs and the receivers are constantly like,
Yeah.
I need a break. And on defense, I feel like the linemen are constantly asking to get
Yeah.
off the field.
So defense killed me. One sack. I mean, Rodgers went back 20 times. One sack. But I guess when you look at their numbers, Aaron Rodgers 14 of 20, 224, 3 touchdowns. And then rushing yards between Jones, Dillon, and Rodgers, 207. You and I have talked about this last year, the year before. When are we going to get somebody to stop the run? We've talked about it through this podcast. When are we going to get somebody who can stop the run, who can start filling their gaps, be disciplined to their gaps, and stop the run? Because they got almost as many rushing yards as they did passing yards. That's got to be embarrassing.
Did you hear what Michael Parsons said about this?
Yeah, I saw a little bit.
And until we put out this fire, we're going to keep seeing it. If people want to keep doing their own thing, we're going to deal with this all year.
Yeah.
We have to be accountable. We have to stay in our gaps. We got to stop the run. Until we do that, it's going to be a long year.
Right.
People think this is an I game because certain people splash, but this is a we thing. And I think McCarthy actually said it best when he said, from here on out, pass rushing is a privilege. And I think the Cowboys are too in love with the pass rush. They're just too in love with it.
I'm so frustrated with all of it. You watch it, you can't help but be annoyed. You're watching it, and I mean, week 1. I mean, how much have you heard from Leonard Fournette since week 1?
Yeah,
I don't think he's up there in the top running backs right now. Yet, he had a heck of a game against us. We've done nothing.
Yeah.
That was disappointing. But honestly, this game comes down to discipline, which comes down to coaching. But penalties, communication, gap discipline, all these things were missing in this game. And I think Micah Parsons kind of brings that up. But whose fault is that? Is it the individual? And I don't know who he's talking about with gap discipline. But whose fault? Is that a coaching issue? Is that a player issue?
I think it's all. I think
you're right, because I think Mike Parsons coming out and standing up and saying this is a problem is something a player should do. I mean, probably not so public, but if you're not getting hurt in the locker room, maybe, I don't know what happens in the locker room, but
it's a systemic issue. I mean, the last time they've had a good rushing defense was when Russell Maryland was on the field. You know, it's been a long time since we've been able to stop the run, and I think it goes deep into what type of team the Cowboys overall want to see, and they want the splashy, flashy team instead of what it's going to take to win. And then it's the thing that, like, I feel like the Cowboys are going to be fine over the long run over this year, but this has a potential of wrecking our season. The poor pass rush, or I mean the poor stopping the run.
Yeah. So, you know what I see when I see this team? Every other team for the past 25 years.
Every other Cowboys team?
Yep. Nothing has changed. We're good enough to be in the mix. We'll hang in the mix. We'll get to the playoffs. We'll be projected to do well. And we'll drop. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed since Jimmy Johnson. It's how? How does this happen?
It's cotton candy. We're cotton candy.
We're like Cleveland when Cleveland was really bad and they left and went to Baltimore, and that same group of people, owners, coaching staff, everything, moved to Baltimore. The water was better, I guess, because Baltimore has won Super Bowls. Cleveland waits a year, lets all the stench out. It just blows out in the wind. It doesn't exist anymore. They start a new team, new owners, new coaching, new players, new everything, and terrible.
Where should the Cowboys move to?
I haven't gotten that far yet.
Dallas? Should they move to Dallas?
Maybe,
Get out of Arlington?
maybe it's not a long move. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's Lone Star State. It's a big state.
Maybe that's the
We'll move 'em to
problem. Maybe
Lubbock.
it's when
There's lots of room out there.
maybe it's when they put that build all that junk in Frisco. That was the end. Because Frisco, if you've ever been to Frisco, it has
I have not.
no offense, no soul. It's just like it's exactly like the Cowboys. It has no soul. Flashy. Yeah, I think we solved it.
There you go.
No, I actually think DeMarcus Lawrence played well.
I do too. He's the only one with a sack. Forced fumble.
He's the only defensive player I would say played well. Sam Williams did okay. But
Sam Williams is a rookie too. So
Yeah.
I mean, he can't really. Yeah. Well,
does
he can
Parsons
really.
look
He's getting
gassed?
paid.
Does Parsons look gassed to you?
He's constantly dealing with something nagging him, which goes right back to the problem we've always had. You don't see that on, well, we've had that argument before, but I don't think a lot of teams have the same problem where somebody gets injured and it lasts them forever in their organization. Parsons will be injured all year. Leighton Vander Esch, injured forever. Who was that one kid? Sean Lee, always injured. Like, anybody we have really good on defense ends up just with nagging injuries that last their entire career.
They showed a picture of Parsons on the sideline, and he was standing there with his helmet off, and it looked like he was staring into space, just like kind of like you do today with that flu-like symptoms.
Wow, that's cool.
He looked like he had flu-like symptoms.
Maybe he
and
did.
You wanted to shake him like a baby and be like, Micah, wake up, man. We're here. There's something's going on. And he's just, and I hadn't seen that from him before.
No, he looks off lately, but I mean, I don't know. I'm glad it came out with a statement like that. It needed to be said. It needs to be addressed, and it'll be interesting to see how it happens.
Yeah.
What did you think of the coaching in this game?
So I'm not as hater on it as most people are, and I totally understand the reasons why. But like I honestly, like when he was so mad at the end of the game, I was happy that McCarthy was mad. And
Fourth and
see,
4.
huh?
4th and 4.
Okay, so I don't think that's the fourth down we should be talking about. I think we should be talking about 4th and 7,
Let's do
which
that.
is 4th and 7 is when Green Bay had the ball,
Mhm.
and it was 4th and 7 from their own 45-yard line, and they picked it up. If we had stopped them on that 4th and 7, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But we couldn't stop them on a 4th and 7. But I do know, like, go ahead. What were we gonna say?
No, you say we wouldn't be having this conversation. I would still be annoyed with the play of the Cowboys.
So let's go. Let's talk about the 4th and 4.
Yeah.
That you want to. I'm okay with the call. The only thing I'm not okay with is I wish apparently he told the little boy on 2nd down, if we don't pick it up, we're going for it. So they should have ran the ball on 3rd down, since they knew they were going to be
Yes. Pick up.
run the ball.
Right.
And then once they saw
Set
that the
yourself
refs
up.
aren't going to call, pass interference, I don't know. So
You would
the
have run
only
it on
thing,
4th. But you could have
But
run
I-
it on 3rd and 4th.
but I don't think they should have kicked a field goal right there. I think we would have been very disappointed if they had.
Listen, I was okay going for it. It's just the play calling that we did when we did it, and that's the stuff that bothers me. We didn't
Yeah.
set ourselves up right to make it in.
No.
We kind of went with, let's put it in Dak's hands, which Dak's having a bad game, and
Yeah.
that's an example of, I think if Zeke was in this game, there would have been a difference. It would have been a different feel. On a lot of
Why do
things.
we still not do any called runs with Dak other than quarterback sneaks?
I don't know. I don't understand that. it's weird, and it's just been this year. But it even started at the beginning of the year. Remember, at the beginning of the year, there was nothing.
Yeah. I mean, they've had one all year, and it picked up what, like, he picked up like 30 yards or 20
Yeah, it was
something
well.
yards.
Yeah, it was well played. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like that. I feel like I think they played it wrong. I think going for it on fourth was fine. I think the way that they played it was terrible. I think the offsides and the holding penalties in overtime hurt us, um, obviously. And I have no idea. More frustrating than Jalen Tolbert lining up offsides was, why was Jalen Tolbert in the game? I'm serious, man.
No, there were several times when we didn't have any of our decent receivers in there. Noah Brown. Why wasn't Noah Brown in there? If you're going to take out Gallup and you're going to take out Lamb, why isn't Noah Brown in there?
Yeah.
I mean, Tolbert, I thought was going to be something at the beginning of the year. He's fast, but he seems to drop a lot, and his mind's not there. I don't know. It's something's missing, and
if you're a second round pick and you can't get off the practice squad most of it, except for an injury, there's a problem there.
Yeah.
That's him. And he's in, yeah, I don't like him at all. And I have no idea why. It put in Turpin.
They did at one point.
I'm standing on that play. Like, you're really trusting this overtime game in Tolbert's hands for any reason. Like, I would be afraid he would hold, block in the back.
Right. It's not even a question of, he's not even a diversion out there, because
no,
they're like,
who
is this guy? Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like putting Tom Brady out. You know, I mean, did you see that when they put Tom Brady out and nobody would even covered him, and then all of a sudden they tried throwing to him? They did the same thing basically. They put him out there and they threw to him. Yeah, turned into a pick.
Yeah, no, I think that it was the right decision to go for the wrong plays leading up to it. But see, that's the thing. Like, when we were up 28-14, I didn't have a problem with the team at all. Did you? I'm serious. Did you?
No, I didn't really. No.
And then 28-21, I'm like, that's weird. And then 28-28, and I was like, well, this sucks.
Yeah.
But like, I couldn't pinpoint one tragedy, one place that everything fell apart. It was just like,
you could feel it turn, though.
Oh, yeah, you could feel it turn.
And it's not like, and we've discussed the whole defenses tire out more than, but even still, it's not like the time of possession was that far off.
No.
So it's not like, our defense would have been tired. We were everything just slowed down for us. We couldn't move on offense. We couldn't do anything on defense. It was just annoying.
Yeah. Yeah. I really thought it was going to end 35-14 is what I thought it was, how it was going to end.
So honestly, I think it was a good game if you weren't a Cowboys fan. It was a good game to watch. It was fun. It had that. Our guest Sam said something about the Lambeau magic. For some reason, that works against the Cowboys no matter what. And why do we never play in Dallas against them right now? Not since the 90s. Seems like we always played in Dallas in the 90s, and since we just play in Lambeau. And we can't win there.
What did you think was going to happen when Rodgers got sacked and fumbled and he was holding his thumb like a little baby? What did you think was going to happen?
You know what I thought was going to happen? I was thinking Love was coming out.
Yeah, you did.
I wouldn't have gotten my point because it would have been early, but.
And you said non-injury, not for injury.
Oh wow, you really did. You memorized everything.
No, I knew. Hey, where were we on the scores of this game? Were we close?
Scores on this game. Yeah, we picked the wrong teams, all three of us. All right, so 24-10 for you. For me, I had 45-10.
Okay, you're out.
Oh, that's really cool. And I don't remember Sam's. I don't remember Sam's.
Okay, so then I got the point because I was the closest.
Wait.
Cool. So I'm at 10.5 now. 10.5.
And what's my point?
Huh?
How did I get a 0.25? Where did that come from?
Early on. It was early on. You got a half a point, but then we had to take it away because we found out you were illegally touching or something like that, and
Wow.
so it had to come.
Oh wow. I totally missed that. Apparently,
It was
Great.
2 weeks ago that it happened.
I'll go back and check it out. So we did have some help. The Commanders came to help us out, which is what makes me not worry so much.
Yeah,
They came back. They won that game, which was it was a good win. Commanders aren't that bad. They're just an organization surrounded by with like all kinds of problems.
yeah.
Um, I like the coach, Rivera. I think he's a good coach. I just think the organization's messed up. But with that, looking ahead, the Eagles' schedule really not as favorable as you would think. They got the Colts next week. Then it's the Packers who are fighting.
Okay.
Colts won, by the way. Then they got the Titans, the Giants, the Bears, the Cowboys, the Saints, and the Giants. That's not an easy schedule when you look ahead.
Well, I mean, the Saints are garbage.
Sure.
Giants are almost garbage.
Giants are ahead of us.
Yeah, that kind of stuff doesn't really
They
matter to me.
keep coming back. As much as you and I have said, they won't. Keep coming back.
So,
But they've
Are we
got
doing
division games. They've got a lot of division games. Division games aren't easy to win.
yeah,
And that's my
our
point.
are we doing power rankings today?
Yeah. What are you ready already?
Well, I don't care. Whatever.
I mean,
just was
I can
wondering.
do power rankings, yeah. I'm ready anytime you are.
All right.
What's your
What
power
are yours?
rankings? No,
Oh,
you're going first, yeah. I mean, let's wait before we do that. Let's talk. I mean, as long as you're happily giving out points. Last week you had Kansas City, you had Dallas, and you had Seattle.
Right.
How many of those teams won?
1.
Okay. I had Miami, Kansas City, and Philly. How many of those teams won?
2.
Yeah.
But
So it sounds like a
but
point coming.
I feel
It
like
seems
if
like-
the Cowboys. I feel like if either Cowboys or Seattle had played the Browns, they would have won. I think you got to take that
So-
into consideration too.
Oh, I did. But what if Philly played the Browns?
Philly didn't, and they lost.
Well, I know they didn't, but what if they were playing the Browns this week?
They probably would have lost. I mean, they lost
And-
to the Commanders.
and
That team's
so you're-
terrible.
You're taking this
They
into
lost to
consideration.
Tyler Heineke, and Heineke's doing all kinds of doing all these things. Like they're garbage. They're garbage.
Right. So in the offseason, we're going to discuss a new point system that comes out somewhat fair.
Okay. I'm happy to discuss anything like that with you during the off season. And currently, I think that our point system is fair. We never said we were giving points. I mean, how can you give points for power rankings? Like, how can you give those points? Like, no one knows until the end of the year. Like, if you pick the top 2 teams all year, then yes, I'll give you a point at the end of the year. If you pick the top 2 for the entire year, every week, and it works out, but you haven't, so you're not getting them. My top 3.
What if you pick teams that keep losing?
Then you're bad at this game, but that doesn't get somebody else a point.
All right, let's go.
So let's
Give me your
start.
top 3.
I'm gonna say Kansas City, who I had as my number 1.
Yep.
I'm gonna keep them at number 1 because I'm not an idiot. I am going to put number 2 on that list. I think I'll go with the Miami Dolphins. That's my
Last
number
week I was crazy.
You were crazy last week,
Okay.
but they beat a poor Browns team, so I'm going to put them at number 2. And my number 3 team on this list
Sweet.
is going.
They beat a poor Browns team, so you moved them up to number 2.
Yeah,
Okay.
and my number. Actually, no, they're not my number 2. I was just saying them. They're my number 3. My number 2 team is the Dallas Cowboys.
You're keeping them there.
Yeah. I'm not worried about this game, man.
I'm not worried about this game, but I don't think they've proven to me that they're top worthy yet.
Okay, so let's hear who yours are.
I'm keeping my number 1 team, Kansas City.
Okay.
I bumped my others. No, I didn't.
Good.
Yes, I did. I bumped my others.
About time.
I've got the Vikings, Wait, I lied. Yes, I've got Vikings as my number 3. No,
Okay.
I lied. I keep my number 1, which is the Dolphins. Then it's Kansas City. Then it's the Vikings. So I
Okay.
apologize. I misspoke on my
Yeah.
representation. So it's Dolphins, Kansas City, and then the Vikings. And the Vikings earned it to me. I get it, but they earned it.
Okay. Well, I'm sure they'll be super happy.
Oh,
They'll
they
be
will.
wearing their
They're,
chains, their chains on the flight home.
we have a guest coming to discuss that game with us tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
That'll be Mitchell Overson.
Does Mitch have chains?
Does he have
Is he gonna be?
chains?
Is he gonna be
Oh my
wearing?
God, that
Is he
would be
gonna be
so
shirtless with
awesome.
some chains?
That would be so awesome. I'll suggest it. I'll put it as a requirement
Okay.
for the because he probably will.
Bling.
Yes. So that will be on tomorrow's. But now we're going to talk about some losing power people teams.
Okay. You can go first since I went first on the power rankings.
That's fine. Losing power. I had so many teams I wanted to talk about. I contemplated the Seattle Seahawks. I contemplated the Cowboys, but I don't think they are. I think they're still in position. I think they're still in position to win the division. But I did go with the Philadelphia Eagles. They can get mad at me. Sorry, we had Zach on, and I know he'll be all upset about hearing that. But their schedule ahead. It's a lot of division games. It's a lot of division games. I mean, they got to play the Giants twice. I know you don't think the Giants are that good, but I do. And it's a division game. They've got the Cowboys. They got the Titans. Even the Bears. Who knows anymore? I'm going with Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay. You really do think the Giants are good?
I'm starting to believe that the Giants are good. Yeah.
They looked really good against Houston, didn't they?
Listen, they're all professionals on the field. They've got one of the better records in the NFL, and quite honestly, they play in a tough division.
Yeah. How many games have they played in their division?
They've played us and they lost, and they played 2. Yeah.
So them playing in a tough division has nothing to do with their record. So I think
they're 500 in their division.
my losing power team would be the Tennessee Titans.
The Tennessee Titans. Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
They lucked out to beat a disgusting Denver Broncos team. That makes me physically ill when I watch them. When I watch them, I start getting really sick to my stomach and just thinking, how you said all of the guys are professional, and I watch the Broncos and I'm thinking like 7 of them are, 7 or 8. I don't know how that's an NFL team. How have they won any games? They're awful.
Defense. Their defense is the only thing that's allowed them to win. Their offense is terrible.
And so anyway, Tennessee barely beat them, lost to Kansas City the week before. I think we're going to see, and I can't even believe people are talking about Tennessee having a chance, a shot at the number 1 overall seed in the AFC.
I haven't heard that.
Are you kidding me?
I haven't heard that at all.
Yeah, I have.
I don't agree with that one. So yeah, no, so you must still believe just a little bit in the Giants.
Why?
You've never put them on your losing power.
Because they won't lose. The day they lose, they're on. No, the day before they play the Cowboys, they're getting on the losing power ranking.
All right. That doesn't happen for a while, I think.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's next week. It's 2 weeks. It's in 2 weeks.
So Seattle, would you be? Let's talk about Seattle too, because they were. I was debating Seattle to put on that list. Do you think it was being in Germany, blah blah blah, or do you think that they are who we thought they were?
I think it's more a case of they're starting to settle in, and I just don't think they've got. I think they're losing power. I mean, I think they're legit just starting to lose some power. I don't think they're bad, and I do believe Gino is something worth looking at. But I think they need some more pieces to get to the next step. Speaking
Yeah.
of pieces, did you hear about Cooper Cup?
Yeah, is he hurt?
He needs surgery.
Oh wow.
High ankle sprain, I thought, but high ankle sprain, I didn't know required surgery.
So
Yeah,
the Rams are
several weeks.
done.
Yeah. Well, you've talked about it, how much he means to that team. If he's not
Yeah.
there, what's their production? It was like some ridiculously low number.
Can you imagine having to have to watch that game with Wolford and
No.
Cole McCoy? Oh my gosh.
How is Colt McCoy? He's got to be older than Tom Brady.
Cole McCoy, yeah, he's that Cole McCoy should be Baker Mayfield's spirit animal. Like that's what Baker Mayfield should aspire to become is Cole McCoy. They're both drafted by the Browns. They flamed out of there, and now Baker should just make commercials and play backup.
Isn't Baker starting this week? Hey, by the way, why did they not take advantage of him moving? I forgot what commercials he was doing, but why did they not take advantage of him moving? They could have this big moving sale.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can't remember Office Depot or I don't remember who it is when they show up to his house.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Isn't that crazy that I know he's in all these commercials, but I can't think of what it is at all?
I hear you. I'm the same way. I couldn't think of what commercial it was. It's just
wow, that was terrible for them. That was a lot of money down the drain because it meant nothing.
Yeah. Well, it's not his home anymore. So, but they could have had a big moving sale. He could have moved, and
yeah,
of course he went there, and I don't know.
Is it insurance?
It might be. You know, it's funny because somebody is probably watching this like idiots. It was blah blah blah. But yeah, I don't know. I don't pay attention to commercials that much. I liked his commercials. So
yeah.
All right. So anything else? Did I miss anything?
We've got the glory hole and we have score for next week.
Oh, the glory hole.
Both things. So which do we want to do first, glory hole or scores?
Let's do the scores first.
Okay. So next week we're playing the Vikings.
Next week we play the Vikings. We do.
Okay.
And it's
all right.
in Minnesota.
I'm gonna. It's in Minnesota.
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna say 42.
Wow.
27 Dallas.
So you don't think they're going to run the ball on us?
I mean, I think I think it's going to be 42-27 Dallas. I think
a big bounce back game.
I think Kirk Cousins is going to have some interceptions. I think we're gonna have some. We're going to get some turnovers, maybe even have a defensive score. I think our offense is going to light it up. And yeah, 42-27.
Are we doing it by Dak or are we doing it by running?
Both. It's going to be balanced. People are going to talk about how the Cowboys have gone back to the Cooper Rush type of playing, but it's going to be Dak will have 280 yards and 3 touchdowns, is what I think.
All right. I'm going with it's a close game. Minnesota doesn't have non-close games. I'm gonna go with Cowboys 31, Vikings 29.
Wow.
Yeah.
How many? You really think the Vikings are going to lose a one-score game because they're 7-0 or 8-0 this year in one-score games, right?
Are they gonna stay that way for the rest of their life?
I don't know. The Cowboys. Hey, how much confidence did you have when they said the Cowboys are 195-0 when leading by 14 points in the fourth quarter?
Actually, you could feel everything changing though.
When they flashed that on the screen, I was like, well, we just lost. 195-0 when leading by 14 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. It's crazy. And we did. We lost.
Yeah. All right, so this glory hole.
Yeah. Why don't you start?
I'll start. So the first series, I thought Dak's in the glory hole. I also think there's something about him. I think he starts off like too fired up. Like he's too keyed up and he throws over their head and around everything. And it takes him a couple series to like go in to get into the flow. So my first Dak was the first person, like gut reaction was Dak. Then it moved to I freaking hate our tight ends. Let's just give all of them the glory hole as a whole. I mean, we're fumbling on kickoffs with tight ends. We're holding people. We're getting, I think that Hendershot or the other one got 2 penalties on kickoffs for like grabbing face masks, pushing people in the back. We're running the wrong route, so Dak ends up throwing an interception. It looked like we're not blocking guys off the edge. Like it just not holding blocks. And so our running back getting hit in the backfield. So I was like, okay, it's the running backs. Then it became, what are we doing on defense? Let's just give it to this Bland guy or number 26, whoever that is. That's probably Bland that keeps falling down or getting burnt, or they just keep scoring on over and over and over again. Let's give it to that guy. Then I was thinking, this is the only game probably ever we're going to get a chance to give it to Micah Parsons. So let's just stick him in the glory hole. Say, if you want to not be in the glory hole, play like a freaking MVP, because you're not right now. Then it moved on to the entire coaching staff. In the overtime, it was Sarah Thomas, the female official, for sure. I was like, you're going to call this dude offsides. And every time she spotted the ball, instead of running in a straight line, she was running at an angle like this. When Dak did that one where he ran in, tried to sneak in, then he spun around and he fell across the line. She placed it like a yard and a half back of where he was actually down. So I was super frustrated with her. So I was like, she's going in the glory hole, but we probably can't do that because this is a kid-friendly TV show. So then I was at a loss again. And then I found out that stupid Tolbert lied, and he never even checked with her like he said after the game. So then he was a liar. So then I was like, it's for sure Tolbert. But after a day of processing, I'm going to say Dak.
It's funny how you came around to all that. I wanted Anthony Brown.
Did Anthony Brown play?
No, he didn't. I'm sorry, not Anthony Brown. I wanted Bland. Bland. I wanted. You know what I really wanted? Greg Olson. Man,
we've already tried giving it to him.
I know, but when he started reporting on the shoes, I started texting my wife, who was like super confused when I went upstairs. Like, what the heck are you talking about?
But she's into shoes, right?
What's that?
But she's into shoes, though,
Well,
right?
so she should know.
Yeah.
I said, he's seen sneakers melt. Like, great reporting. Like, that's awesome reporting data. Like,
right. But if I was a kicker, I wouldn't put my kicking foot up there because I'd hate for my kicking foot to melt.
I've seen shoes melt there. I've seen lots of things. I've seen fires. Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up. There's a game. Let's focus on the game. His shoe's not going to melt. He's not going to catch fire.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I feel like if shoes were melting on the sidelines, we would be seeing that somewhere, right?
Yeah.
People
if shoes were melting,
like Sports Center would be like, look at this dude's shoe melted.
He said somebody caught fire. Like something caught fire. Jersey, I don't know. Something caught fire. I'm like, what are you talking?
Martin Gramatica, I could see that dude catching fire.
Oh, Greg Olson, I could see him catching fire. But I wanted to go with the refs. Though that, as you said, I mean, there was, but I can't. I get frustrated with reffing, but then I watch other games and I see everybody has to deal with this crap. So get over it.
Yeah.
So I got over it for a moment, and then I went to Dak. It's frustrating. And then I count the penalties, and I go, Mike McCarthy. I look at the discipline on defense. I look at the discipline everywhere, and I go, Mike McCarthy. But we did actually have him in the glory hole already. And I think it's time we put Dak in the glory hole. So I agree with you.
All right.
I think he's got to get something together. I think he's got to. I don't know what's going on, but fix it.
Yeah, maybe he needs to change his sleep number.
That could be. Maybe he should just get a regular bed.
Maybe he should stop eating chunky soup.
Oh, that could be. Maybe the chunky soup is actually causing little bursts of energy. I don't know. Either way,
So
Dak's in there.
Did you see? Okay, let's see it.
I don't have it.
Oh.
Yeah,
So-
I'm a mess today.
Did
I
you
get it.
see?
All right.
What did you think about what I said about how Dak looks when he comes out in the first series or two, like he's just overhyped. Do you see that too? Or
I
is that
do,
just me?
yes, I do. I think that's a good call. It takes him a long time to settle down.
Yeah.
Why, I don't know.
Yeah.
We got it. All right. Sorry it takes so long on that one, but there he is.
There he is.
Yep.
Yeah. He looks like he belongs.
So yeah,
You know-
it's gonna be a long week. I hope they work on some disciplinary things. How many penalties next week? I'll give you a point if you get it right.
How many
What's the-
penalties for the Cowboys?
Let's forget about points. What's the over under on penalties right now? Let's say 6.
I was gonna say 8, but so I'll take the over if you're saying 6. Over.
I still think it's going to be over, but I think 6 is a
Over.
6 is a good. All right. So
What if I
was
set
8?
it at 8? What if I set the over under
At
at 8?
8, I'll take it. I'll take the under.
Okay.
All right. So we'll leave it at 8, and I'll take the under.
Okay.
Excellent.
Cool.
So tomorrow we'll have Mitch Overson on. He'll be our Vikings fan.
All right.
We're gonna need some ones for coming up here, so we'll have to take a look at Vikings fans for the upcoming schedule. We have a Giants fan. Eagles fans are easy to find, so we'll find them. But hey everyone, thanks for watching. Do you have anything else, Jonathan?
I'm good.
As always, if you like what you saw, like, subscribe, all that stuff. If anybody has a score they want to put in the bottom for this coming week, fill out the comment, put your score. If you've got somebody you think would be better for the glory hole, throw them in the comments. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for watching.